Hello people, we are Tottenham TV, and some breaking news coming out of the club today as Tottenham have announced that Vinai Venkatesham will be joining the club's board as CEO in the summer. The previous Arsenal CEO, which is quite mad to be honest. David Ornstein says he will take responsibility over all operations on and off the pitch. He turned down other major jobs and will regard it as a major coup for Spurs. The Standard are reporting that former Arsenal director Vinai will fill the newly created CEO role at Tottenham Hotspur in a move that signals major changes in the way that the club is run. The hire is seen as a major coup for Tottenham as Newcastle wanted him as well. And Ali Gold is also saying that Spurs have confirmed that Vinai will be joining the board as CEO in the summer, having previously served as CEO at Arsenal. Daniel Levy said on the matter, he said the club has experienced significant growth in recent years, making it crucial to expand our executive management. I have known Vinai for many years, having worked together at the Premier League and the ECA. I am personally delighted that he's agreed to join our board as we build for success. A guy that's been on Arsenal's, he's been at Arsenal for the last 14 years prior to being made redundant, I think at the end of the end of last season?
Well, he apparently he left. It wasn't a case of getting rid of him.
Well, I've been speaking literally now just to a couple of Arsenal fans around the matter, and they tell me, I don't know if they're telling it just because Spurs have hired him now, but there was no real, he represented the club very well. He did a decent job, not too involved on the football side, mainly like a financial guy. And when he did leave, it wasn't like not too many people were that upset about it.
Okay, I can't speak to that, but what I can say is he was in the job for 14 years. According to
in 6 different roles over the 14 years.
Yeah, and I can see David Ornstein said before Arteta was appointed, he was the one who met with Arteta and was pictured outside of his house just before the appointment. So clearly he must have been quite involved in that appointment of Mikel Arteta, and obviously that's turned out pretty decently for Arsenal. Has basically. He actually took over. He actually started in 2010, so he has been there for a long time. So you can say from years 2010 all the way probably till 2020, things weren't going great. But in the last few years, things have turned around for Arsenal. I don't know how much you can put down to him or not, but it's a very interesting appointment considering he was at Arsenal for so long. He was probably part of the furniture there for a long, long time. He claims he left to recharge his batteries and wanted to look for new opportunities. Maybe we were tapping him up. Maybe we were in his ear saying, come over to the right side of North London. This is where you belong. And now he's here. So apparently he was key in appointing the likes of Edu as well, who's obviously since left. I don't know who Richard Garlick is. I don't know. Apparently he's one of the key persons. And obviously Arteta, I'm just reading it here, this article from The Athletic. So he does definitely seem he was heavily involved in what was going on at Arsenal. What's more interesting is what this could mean for some of our staff at the moment, the likes of Scott Munn. Does that mean does that mean anything happens with him potentially going forward? Obviously, when you look at the manager, we're probably going to change it anyway in the summer. But usually these kind of guys, I know he's not a sporting director, but maybe he would have a say on whether Ange stays or goes or not. It's going to be interesting what kind of shake-up there is kind of at the top end with this kind of appointment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to make out of it. Don't know, but someone that being at Arsenal for 14 years suddenly coming over to Spurs, that doesn't fill me with much confidence, to be honest. But what I'm hearing as well from Arsenal fans is that there was a bit of a power struggle at the top with Arsenal from Tim Lewis, who's now the vice chairman. And towards the end of Vinai's time at Arsenal, there was a bit of a power struggle there, and them two. Not so much not seeing eye to eye, but weren't working maybe as well together as maybe previous people at the top. And obviously this guy stayed on, and Vinai was one of the ones to leave. So
power struggle between Vinai and Levy incoming. Oh, well, maybe we're laying the groundwork for Vinai to become chairman with Levy on his way out. Any chance?
It's just a very strange bit of news to come out when you're looking at someone who's been on the Arsenal board for 14 years and suddenly now he's CEO at Tottenham. It's just very strange, isn't it?
Are you worried he's a double agent?
I am a bit worried he's a double agent.
You're worried he's a double agent?
I am a bit worried he's a double agent.
He's coming to sow the seed of destroy us from the inside. Is that what you're saying?
Not that we need much destroying from the inside. We've already got a big destroyer on the inside.
He's come. The whole place is burning down. You're just worried he's going to pour a bit more gasoline on the fire.
I guess the positive thing is that a club like Newcastle were interested in him as well, which means that he's got quite a bit of clout in the game, because they've been seeming to make good appointments recently, with the manager, with Paul Mitchell as at the club as well. So they're building like a base of really good people there at Newcastle. If they were interested in him, that does fill me with a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, I guess. So you're confident because Newcastle had good decisions before Vinai, so you're confident it's a good decision to appoint Vinai.
I mean, I'm just trying to take something out of the news we do. I don't know much about him. That's the reality. So it's hard to make a judgment call on if it's good, if it's bad, what it's actually going to do for Tottenham. But from what I've heard, he didn't have that much say on the footballing side at Arsenal.
Who knows? I mean, as I say, he's the one who spoke to Arteta before he signed. He must have a bit of a say.
Yeah, maybe.
So, yeah, I don't know how. I'm sure it'll help us get some more deals. But obviously, we've already got other people who've obviously been tasked with getting the financial sponsorship deals and all that kind of stuff, and they seem to be doing a decent job on that front. It's more the footballing side. Is he going to have a say in bringing Fabio back potentially? If that's a possibility, we saw Fabio yesterday at the ground. I don't know if this has got anything to do with any of like those kind of things, but. Yeah, I just wonder if there was a power struggle, how he will work with Levy. Apparently, they're said to have a very good relationship, which is not what you like to hear. I'd like Levy to have seen him as the enemy, but apparently he didn't. Apparently he likes him and they get on. I guess at that kind of level, petty rivalry goes out the window, as they say. Not petty for us, but maybe at that level they don't really care about it. But clearly they get on, so maybe it'll be a match made in heaven. But if maybe Vinai is... he could get too big for his boots, potentially. Who knows?
Maybe, but
would you write that if he took over from Levy as chairman?
I don't know. I don't know what he's about. I need to know more about him, to be honest. And we just heard the news and we thought we'd bring you kind of what's breaking at this moment in time. But if you guys know more about him, let us know in the comment section below. Do you think this is a good appointment for Spurs? Vinai, the old Arsenal CEO, is now the Spurs CEO come the summer. But it does feel like every year we're having like a reshake up at the top. Mm-hmm. Like, what was it, a couple of years ago, it was Scott Mann and all these guys come in just before Ange came in. Now this guy's coming in, and I think a few months ago we heard of someone else being added to the board as well. I can't remember can't remember his name. So
Executive director.
Yeah, so someone from Enoch, I think it was. Mm-hmm. But look, it feels like every few years now we're having a bit of a shake up at the top, and nothing seems to be changing on the pitch. That's the reality. Hopefully this is the one. This is the one.
This is the guy.
This is the one.
Vinai in. Vinai, our Lord and Saviour.
What do you reckon? Is this going to be a good move for us?
Who knows? He's coming in as a CEO. I don't know what exactly his role is going to be, different to like people like Levy or other people. He's going to be look. I guess the positive thing is a new voice in the boardroom. I don't know if it's a positive voice, but it's a different voice, and maybe that can shake things up, and maybe he can show us where we're going wrong and start going in the right direction.
Does it not make you feel a bit dirty though? Someone in our board is now has been at Arsenal for the previous 14 years. It does make me feel a bit dirty.
Yeah, he knows their inner secrets. he can start feeding them to us. He knows where we can hurt them most. Maybe he can feed us some. He can leak some information about Arsenal. He knows their dirty secrets. We can blackmail them. Maybe if we blackmail them, maybe we can get a bid in for Saka. I've got no idea what this is going to do for us. Maybe this is our Sol Campbell moment.
Oh god, I thought that was Rowan Ricketts.
No, this is Vinai, mate, coming in on a free. Their former CEO coming to Tottenham on a free. He saw Tottenham. He's like, this is a bigger club. I want to do things here. This is where I belong. This is where I'm meant to be. The right side of North London. This is what he's seeing. And that's the club I need to be part of. That's why he left. Yeah. In a cloud of mystery. That's my prediction. That's what I think happened.
Let's hope so.
We've been tapping him up for many, many years. That's why in the last few years there's been power struggles. He's sowing doubt in that Arsenal machine. And
he sowed the doubt. He left. And then he joined Spurs.
He jumped that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been working for us all this time, I think.
That's why in Arsenal they're all saying this guy is working against us. But look, that is the news. Vinai is going to be the new CEO of Tottenham Hotspur come the summer. Like I said, let us know in the comment section below. Do you think this is a good move for Spurs? Does it not make a difference to your mind whatsoever? Let us know. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.